asked to review some hardware and software for the company. The company wants to remain anonymous, which is unusual, but they're offering to fund the review with a specific budget, which I'm not allowed to reveal at the moment, that is, as far as I know. The review of the software and the hardware, I've decided to take an alternate step, which will give other people an opportunity to create the same kind of music that some of the big composers do and some of the smaller trailer house stuff does as well. The other thing is, you won't need to know how to play instruments, although you can play. So this opens it up to anyone out there, whether you're a musician or you just want to be a musician. Now, the route I've taken is an unusual one, and I don't think this company's very happy about it, the way I've done it, but they asked me to do it with a specific budget, and what I've chosen to do is to use a phone. Yeah, I know, but you'll be surprised at the results as this guide goes along. This is an iPhone 3GS. The going rate at the moment for these is £50, locked on the network to about £70 if they're unlocked. But they're a redundant phone now anyway, because iOS 7's out and these will not update to iOS 7. So the price on these phones is going to fall. So you remember, that's an iPhone 3GS. I mean, if you can get a 4 or a 4GS or a 5 or an iPad, then get one. But this is a cheap buy, right? Now with the budget, I've decided to get iRig MIDI, which will plug into the iPhone 3. It will not plug into the iPhone 5. It's a specific connector on this device. This will be for keyboard use, so that's your keyboard players partially covered. I've chosen the cheaper version of the iRig, which is a guitar interface. This will plug into any iPhone whatsoever, doesn't matter what model it is, any iPhone, any iPad. You can get the iRig HD, but this was a difference of about £12 compared to 50 to 70 odd pounds. So for £12 and another £12 to put the app on the phone, that's pretty much a decent guitar package. I got the iStomp, which is basically a guitar pedal, but it's a universal pedal where you assign your effects to it. And for the keyboard players out there, I got the iRig keys, which I think this thing's a bit of a scam. It's not a bad keyboard, but it only comes with an iPhone 3 cable, iPhone 3 and 4, and if you want to get the iPhone Lightning connector cable, it's about €39, works out 28–30 pounds, all the way from Italy. The cable has to come. Now, as I did, this comes with the 30-pin connector cable, but it also comes with a USB cable. So this is a diverse keyboard. You can use it on your computer with your usual VST stuff, or you can use it with the phone. So again, you're mobile, you can go gigging with this. All you need to do is run this through a PA system and you're good to go. The company is really shocked that I picked a phone rather than an Apple Mac or a computer. Well, I've got a computer and, you know, this was about learning something new for myself, as well as showing you guys out there exactly what you can pull off, whether you can play or not. And the only stipulation was the hardware and the software had to be IK Multimedia related. So I have had past experience with IK Multimedia. You might remember the stealth plug, the USB gadget for your guitar. I still kind of like this, but the computer can have a lot of issues. The electricity in the house, you know, it's since I moved in here, there's dirty electric in this building. There really is. Dogs barking constantly, doors slamming. Putting a mic in front of your amp, trying to get your own particular tube sounds without a tube driver and stuff like that. It's pretty much impossible unless you're in a studio. So this gear is about the nearest you're gonna get using a phone. But I mean, you're gonna be pretty shocked. So most of this will be covered in the blog post because I don't particularly like doing videos. The blog post will have information, pictures, embedded videos, more information, more pictures. It will be span out across a number of individual blog posts. The blog post number 1 is in the video description below, unless Google decides to mess with YouTube. Then it could be here, or it could be here, or it could be there, or you could have to click something. But at the moment, if you just click show more or read more, underneath the video there's a link directed to the blog post that will get you going. Like I said, this is tailored for people that can play and people that can't play. So it doesn't matter what you do, you can get a bit of music going in that. What I might do as well, which is a little unconventional, what I might do as well, which is a little unconventional, is I might actually show people how to run an iRig, not the HD, just the iRig, through another phone, which I know this might seem nuts, right, but the concept would be to have a completely different instrument on here that all it requires is a guitar signal or a keyboard signal MIDI wise to produce a sound. Let's just say, for example, you can play the keyboard, you can't play the guitar, but you'd like access to some of the more unique guitar sounds. Well, what if you ran a keyboard program on this and you're playing the keyboard, or you're using the iRig MIDI plugged into the phone with your normal keyboard? So you can use a normal keyboard that you're used to that's got MIDI ports, run through this into the phone. Now we would connect this iRig to a separate mobile and then run this phone into the other phone. So we play our signal through the keyboard and it's rendered through this, giving you access to proper guitar pedals and stuff. Now this supports the stomp pedal, so it supports so many ohms. Now ohms is basically a level of volume. You have to be careful with your volume. But that said, if you're using a MIDI interface, there is no real volume. So check out the first blog post. It's ready to read through now. There's links to different apps, there's information. What I'd advise, right, is do not skip the blog post, because you're just going to end up ripped off. The morals of some of these companies are horrific. The applications they make are amazing, but the in-app purchases, some of them are a total rip-off. A lot of stuff is not transferable. Like you could buy, there's a Jimi Hendrix app, and once you buy it, which is like £13 something at the time, I think it's £11 something at the moment, but once you buy that and you install it, you can't record with it, which means your phone needs piping into a computer. If you unlock the 4-channel recorder, I think it's £6 something at the moment. and then you buy the Slash app, so you get all the Guns N' Roses guitar sounds. Same company, same system, different effect pedals, in-app purchases. You got to buy the recorder again. To me, that's a bit naughty. Then you buy a universal guitar amp, which has masses and masses and masses of guitar effects you can buy. But yeah, you buy these effects individually, and then you decide to get the Slash add-on pack, which you have to buy again, even if you bought the individual app. So I would avoid all the packages until you've read the first initial blog post and got a heads up on how these companies try and wean their extra money out of you. Because I agree that the apps are good and the in-app purchases aren't that expensive when you consider the price of the hardware, because this is what you have to look at. I mean, keyboard for the iPad and it's £20, and people are ranting and raving about the price of this thing. Now this thing is made by Korg, it's not a third party product. This thing's made by Korg, right? To buy this thing hardware wise, anywhere from $599 to $1,899. So to pay £20 for it is not a rip-off. It's far from it. As I said, check out the blog post. If you've got an iPhone, you could be really laughing. I'll catch you in the next video. God knows what it's actually going to be about, because these videos are going to pop up in random blog posts. So I suggest if you see any videos in mobile music review clip, I'd suggest you watch clip 1 and then go to the blog post. Don't watch any of the others randomly, because you're going to lose track of what's going on, what I'm currently working on. The tricks of the trade that'll stop you getting ripped off, get you the best bargains, and probably get you some really unique sounds going. Because let's face it, right, there's masses of people out there that can't play an instrument, and they're dragging and dropping samples in Fruity Loops and Acid Pro and Vegas Video and the Cakewalk. There's loads and loads of apps where people are mixing loops, and people are doing some really epic trailer music, but they couldn't play for their life. If they were sat in front of a piano, they couldn't play a thing. This, you can sit in front of a keyboard and get some stuff going now, which means you get a video out of what you're doing. You can make a music video. It's not just some wallpaper you've robbed from DeviantArt, Google search. You can put some proper vids together, playing stuff, mixing. You've seen Hans Zimmer doing it now, where he's just pushing buttons and stuff, and he's got all kinds going. This stuff is all accessible on a phone. You don't need to be a computer wizard. All the work's been done for you with the phone. This is the difference about it, is with a computer, with a Mac, you need a host application, then you need your VST, then you need your audio input setting, your audio outputs, your mixing rack setting. I mean, anyone that's used Reason knows it's such an amazing program, but it can be a nightmare to get a lot of stuff going all at once. And this is what I tend to do, is I'm a real-time improvisation artist. I mean, this video's not been written, I'm winging it, do you know what I mean? I don't sit there with sheet music and write it out and play little bits and, ooh, I like that, and do this and do that. I pick some instruments, combine as many as I can without the thing dying on me and going bump out of memory, and I get as much going as I can. Then I hit record and I just go for it. And with touch sensitive keys, a sustain pedal, which this thing has a socket for a basic POC standard sustain pedal. I wouldn't say the touch sensitivity on this is that hot. But remember, the iRig MIDI will let you use your normal keyboard through the phone or the iPad. It just depends on what connectors on the bottom of the iPad or the phone. That's covered in the first blog post. So you haven't got much to lose if you've already got an iPhone, because a lot of the IK Multimedia apps, they're free. some of the other apps are only $2.99. You look at a massive studio app, and then you look at one on the phone. I mean, the iPad is bigger, but I mean, in the past 2 days since I've been experimenting, I've been preparing, I've been waiting for this stuff to be shipped to me. I say I was given a budget to spend on doing this project. And the only reason I agreed to do it, see, at the moment I'm unemployed, so accepting payment for anything completely messes up my benefits, my girlfriend, and my kid. So unless someone's going to give me a job, I have to work on a different basis. So what I've done is I told the company that I'll do the review, but I want the hardware, and I want an iPad, which that's in the post. Who said there's no such thing as a free iPad? At some stage I'll probably find out who this company are when I'm done. But as far as I know, I'm not allowed to make that public. One thing I can tell you, right, is this has not been orchestrated by IK Multimedia, and if it has, it's been done by CEOs that want to know how the company's performing. This is not, this couldn't even been orchestrated by Native Instruments to pull a rival apart. But what I do know is I've been asked to do this on a level of honesty, which is a first, isn't it? Because there's normally an incentive. Thing is, I've got the gear now, I've got the phone, I've essentially been paid. All I have to do is produce some reviews for you guys, which I'll put my heart into these, do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest as well, because there's a lot of people out there that are doing these kind of reviews and that, and they're on the payroll, do you know what I mean? They're proper actors and all that. Anyone out there that knows me, Google Ray517. Been online since about 2000, 2001. Used to make mods for GTA. Was born with natural music theory. I've had no music school lessons whatsoever. I was born with it, it's what I do. And I'm there on the net. I'm not some guy that's never been seen before that you're going to see popping up on QVC and crap like that. Well, you never know, we'll get a job like. But yeah, this is from one musician to another. This is going to be an alternative that you might not have looked at. You might have looked at and thought, oh no. But this is a space thing. It lets you unplug from the mains. It doesn't just get you portable, it lets you separate yourself and get little segments of equipment. I mean, you could buy a few phones, you know, it's these 3GS, you can't update them to iOS 7. Now, all the apps for iOS 7 still work on iOS 6. There's also a link within the blog post with perfect information on if you had, I stress, if you had an iOS 6 device and you updated to 7, because some will let you, and you want to downgrade, you can. If it came with iOS 7 when you bought it, downgrading can be very risky. But if it came with iOS 6, it can be restored back to iOS 6. That's included in the first blog post, because I know that's going to be an issue for some people, because some apps are not iOS 7 ready and they have issues. But underneath the video description, blog post, read it, and keep your eyes on the blog more than the YouTube, because the YouTube has random stuff popping up. But the blog at the moment will be dedicated to the mobile music review until it's finished. Until the next blog post, enjoy.